Hi, Sue Wilson. I have a card here today that shows off how you can use one of the frames and tags to make a pretty little background. I'll show you what we'll be using. And this is the die I was talking about. This is the Gemma die. We will be using a sentiment from the Sweet Wishes Clear Stamp Set by Creative Expressions. I've got a little edge. I'm using this little piece here out of the Striped Swirl Edger. We'll add a floral element with the Chrysanthemum die set. I'm going to be using the tag from the Atlantic Ocean Tag Duo. And we'll be doing a bit of embossing with the Jacobean Floral, the A4 embossing folder from Creative Expressions. And I'm going to be adding a little bit of an accent with our gilding polish here. This is Pearl Lustre. So I'm going to start there. We'll do our embossing first. Bring in the folder. Got a piece of card, and let's just give you a quick measurement on the size. 6.5 by 7. Pop that inside. And the sandwich is just the raspberry adapter plate on top. There we go. You can see you get a really lovely emboss with that. Isn't that pretty? It's one of my favorite folders. So we're going to use the Pearl Lustre. So it comes with its own little sponge top, so I just want to give it a push. It's brand new, so you can see there's a little dauber top there, and absolutely gorgeous. It's similar to like a mousse. So you just want to pick up a little bit with the side of your sponge top there, and just take off the extra bit on the edge of your jar, and just carefully move it over to the embossing. Now this is a tone on tone, white on white, so you're just going to pick up the highlights from that nice embossing and just add a little bit of extra bling to the edges here. Most of this will be covered, so we're just going to go around the edge. There we go. And this last side there. So let's pop that back in there. You can see, just catch the shimmer from all the mica in that product. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to give it a light dry with a piece of kitchen roll. Just kind of buff it up. That's all you need to do with that. Okay, so next thing I want to do is add some borders to that. So what I've done is I've taken this piece out of the Striped Swirl Edger, and it has no cutting end on either end or on the top and bottom. So it literally will cut out these little ovals all the way down, and you can pick it up and move it along, and that's what I've done here. Now I backed it with a little white strip, and then I put a slightly larger black piece behind it with some mounting foam. So I'm going to pop that down, and just to make sure it adheres nicely, we'll give it a bit of glue. There we go, just along the back of our mounting foam. I'm going to pop that on the top. There we go. Oop, let's get that right up to the edge there. And we'll do the other side. A little bit of glue on the back of that too. Just enough to hold it. There we go. Pop that on as well. And I'm a tiny bit long on either end, so I'm just going to give it a quick trim with my scissors. There you go. So it adds a really nice accent to the sides of the card. So I'm going to bring in my backing. Go ahead and take off my mounting foam. And because I'm using blue Dusk, excuse me, white and black card, I've taken and put those same colors into my mat. I've done a white layer of piercing around the edge, just to frame that in really nicely. Okay, so we'll move forward from there. So I've cut several of the Gemmas here, and let me show you what I've done. I've got one that's cut with white and blue, sorry, two that are cut with white and blue, and one that's cut with blue, and then a white backing on it. So what I want to do is just sort of intertwine these. So I'm going to pick it up, grab it right there, and right there. Actually, let's go up and back. So they all stay together really nicely. I'm going to add a bit of tape on the back of that, just to keep them nice and tidy. And let's just add a couple mounting strips across the back there. So that is going to create the background in the middle of my card here. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is use the Gemma again, but this time I want to give it a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to just do some offsetting. So I'm going to spray the back of the blue one that I've cut with some spray mount. And I'm going to just slightly offset it onto the black one. It's just so effective to give a nice shadow that way. And we really want to make that pop. So we're going to add it onto a piece of white. And the white one was just cut with the backing die, nothing decorative. And we'll pop that right in to match that up. Get a hold of that. There we go. Get that on there. So you can see how the black just really pops out once you do that. So I'm going to put that in the center, and that is going to go horizontally across the middle. There we go. Now I've used the tag from the Atlantic Ocean Duo. I've cut it in white, and I'm going to back that in blue. So I'm just going to give it a quick spray. Pop it into place so that pretty blue Dusk card will show through. I've got a piece of mounting foam behind this, and that is going to sit right in the middle of the Gemma die. And for our sentiment, I've gone ahead and stamped it and cut it out with the middle, but what I wanted to do was give it just a little bit of a highlight. And because there was nothing as far as a larger die, I did what we call a faux die on it. So I've taken this die from this set, I've trimmed or drawn around it with a pencil to the outside of that die, and what I'm going to do is just hand cut this and just follow along on that pencil line. Just takes a second, and this is not a difficult shape to cut, so you don't have to worry about anything intricate. There we go. And I'm just going to turn that over, and I find it's easiest just to take a real light sanding block, and just like you're filing your nails, just give it a light file. Takes any rough edges off of it. There you go. So you can't even tell that it wasn't cut with an actual die, and that gives you a really nice little mat to put your sentiment on. We'll pop a piece of mounting foam on the back of that and put that right into the center of our tag. So it not only gives it a nice frame, but it also ties in the black from here and here and around the edges too. So I'm going to add a floral element. So I've cut and put together some chrysanthemums, and I thought I would keep these rather flat. It's nice to have different ways that you can do your flower. Most of the time I will kind of give them a little bit of dimension, but you can also use them flat, and I think it's really pretty that way too. So it's just, you know, something different. Just gives you a few other options. Pop that down. We'll use another glue dot on this small one, and then I'll bring in a little bit of glue and we'll add it to our leaves. Pop them underneath, and I'll put one down here, and I've got two more here, so we'll just put them towards the top, the larger flower. Put that under. There we go. And you've got an absolutely gorgeous card. Add a few pearls and you are finished. And I think that will work for just about any occasion you need. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget our YouTube channel has so many videos on it.